Hi, good afternoon, you too. It's your man, Ray George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I didn't mean to be this way. I was trying to take care of some things, and you know what? I saw the time, and I know time flies so fast. When you're doing something, try to put something together. And as you see in the description, if you're watching, um, this episode is going to be about the my favorite, my favorite female bodybuilders, competitive female bodybuilders, and there's some great ladies that have competed over the years. Amazing ladies, great condition, great shape. They have been ladies who have, some have not, gone far as career they should have. They did pretty good, compared to some others. But there are some great women in this sport. Some who have past, some present, some who might be the future of the sport. And I decided to create a list. I was just doing some tweaking and some stuff, and some of these ladies it's hard to find a lot of information on. I was up this morning. I was also doing some other stuff, and I just got so behind, you know. I just was trying to get this thing together and get it done right. But I'm gonna do the best as I can. If you feel like I'm half-assed in it a bit, I probably am. This is just really a great opportunity to show support to these ladies that represent the sport. A lot of these women um, have done so many things, and they get a lot of slack for what they do and for decisions they choose to be in this sport. You know, Personally, I'm a fan of them, and I like to see them be successful. And maybe in the future, bodybuilding, not just women in general, but the whole sport in general, would get more mainstream than it has been the last few years compared to any sports. Oh, it's my man, Marcus Bell, as usual. I like to thank Marcus Bell. He's always coming by and supporting me. You know, coming by and dropping a like. Yeah. Thanks, Mark, for coming by, and smashing the like. You know, yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah, I show you. He just comes through. He might stay for a bit, but anyway, I compiled a list. It's not going to be a long list. It's going to be pretty much a good size list. There's some women that didn't make the list. If they didn't, I apologize. I'm sorry. You know, uh, you know, some ladies, you know, some of these ladies who should have been, some might be a little bit, if some of you are who really fans of fear bodybuilding, you might have a little, feel a little, you might have an issue with my list, how certain women are placed. But here I'm gonna say it again. This is my list, my list, the list I made. It's not a list for you. It's a list I made of my personal favorites. And some may not place as high as others, and some may place a little too high than they should be, but they deserve to be high because these are the ladies I like and admire and I'm a fan of. So anyway, let's get started. All right. So give me a second, and I will share. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Jared. It's cool. You can lurk, Jared. The next live stream, Jared, you can be on, but this one is just me just doing my thing. So thanks, Jared. Yeah, Jared, that's my partner in crime. He comes in. We talk about women's bodybuilding. He's young. He has a different prospects than I do in understanding the sport. And like I said, this is great to have somebody who has just who admires the women just as much as I do compared to others. You know. So let's get started. And here we go. Now, uh, so so this is my list. This is the all-time favorite female body, black female bodybuilders, and this is the list. This is who we're gonna start off first. First, we're starting off with you know a lady who's like I said, the history of the sport. I think there have been so many great ladies of Nubian descent that has represented the sport. Champions, legends. A lot of these ladies are still in the sport in a way. Some represent it as a, just as a, I would say, um, as a representatives. They, come to the shows. Some support the sport. You know, and there have been so many great women. There's some women of the past, and also there's women of the future. You know, up and comers that really are keeping the sport going. Now, the first lady I'm going to just talk about is one Miss Laura Cordia Creval, and she's been in this game. She's been in the game since she started in about 1983. She's originally from British Ghana. That's it's a principality of Great Britain. Her family moved to Canada. Now she was born January the first of 19 of January the first, January 25th of 1959, and she just had a birthday a month ago, and I did a video about it. Now she made a pro debut back in 1988, and her first um, competition was the 1988 Miss Olympia. Where she got and her best showings during her career was she was a Miss International from 90, then 94 and 95. She also won the Pro Extravaganza in 99. Now she also made second runner up at Miss Olympia in 92 and 94. And her last competition was back in 2002, where she placed at the Miss Olympia. And that was a show where I say like she was really small. She looked like herself. She really, I think it was because of weight class. I think she felt like she probably wouldn't make heavyweight as good, so that's why she competed as a lightweight. I'm a big fan of Laura Creval. I think she's one of the greatest ones. We often call her the one of the uncrowned Miss Olympias. There's always that debate that she should have won Miss Olympia during her career. But she was competing against Linda Murray, and Linda was just near unbeatable. And then pretty much competing against Kim Zavetsky, and that's just was another lady that was pretty much dominant through part of the 90s. And then when she came back in 2002, she wasn't, the what she was back then. So next up is a lady I've been a big fan for a long time, and that is one Miss um, Andrea Victoria Gates, or better known as Vicky Gates. Now, Miss Gates was born September 25th, 1962, in San Antonio, Texas. Now, and this is one thing I remember that she was originally a police officer, and she also was one time dating. They were engaged to Ronnie Coleman. They both had daughters. They had some that there was a thing they had in common. They were both bodybuilders and they were both single parents. Now she got into bodybuilding in 1984 at the Tulsa Classic, and then she earned her pro card in 1990. I think 93. Yes, 93. And then she competed at the Grand Prix, no, 95. No, sorry, 95. Then she competed the Grand Prix Prague that same year. Now, her best showings was Mrs. National, where she won in 90, 2000, and 91. She took second at the in 1990 Miss Olympia, and then she also took second in the heavyweight division in 2000 and 2001, which is, I feel like in 2000 she should have won the overall. She should have won she should have won the heavyweight division and then won the overall. But the thing was, the IFBB was pushing a narrative. They wanted to get a certain a certain different look, a certain different female bodybuilder in there. That's why I pushed Valentina Chipig into the overall, and then they split because the people wanted Andrea Bichette to win the show, but they wanted I think the IPB executives wanted Valentina to win. So they're all saying they split the difference, and they just gave them both the titles, which was kind of me always uh, just a bullshit move. Yeah, yeah, she was big. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, yeah, she's big. Yeah, she's big. I mean, I remember. Jerry, go back to I think it's 2002, where it was at a weigh-in at at the Olympia. Vicky was getting weighed in. There's a clip of it, a video clip of it, and she stands beside his body by Denise. Was it Horse Shore? And she made Denise look small. Denise was kind of looking straight up forward. You look at that face. I think like she kind of looked at Victoria, but Vicky, but she didn't like looked at her. He looked at her, and Vicky was just came off the scales, and she was huge. I think Vicky should have won to me in '99, and she should have won in 2000. That's just me being a fanboy. Now, next up on this list we have here is a lady I've done interviews with. I'm a fan of, and that was one Miss Nancy Fabre Lewis. And Miss Lewis was born October the 7th. I don't have the exact year. She was born in Berkeley, California. Now, Miss Lewis, came amateur. She started her amateur career back in 1985 at the Nationals, and then she turned pro in '91. Now she earned her pro card in '92, and then her first show at the Miss International in '92, that same year, and that was and her best showing was in '02, where she won the Jantana Classic, and then in 2004 she won the GNC Show of Strength as a lightweight. And then she did compete at a Miss Olympia in 2006, where she took sixth place. And after that, her last show was the Chicago Pro in 2012, which took sixth place at that show. And if you know, I did an interview with Vicky Gates. I admire her. I love her physique. She had a great physique, a great body. I remember she said in the interview that people wanted her to do this. She wanted to, two things that the judges said they wanted to do. They wanted her to to take care of that space between her teeth and to get implants. And she said she didn't want to, and that's, she really respect herself and her physique that she didn't want to go that way. A lot of women in the sport, yeah, and people say, people don't. Yes, they do that. Judges, executives, somebody would pull the girls aside and tell them, hey, you got a great physique, but you might either want to do this or do that. And that's true in any sport. You might critique something about you, but she decided not to get breast implants. She decided not to get her teeth fixed. She lived herself as she is, and I think that's what I liked about her. She stayed she stayed true to herself. That's what made her a great competitor and a great bodybuilder. Now, next up is a lady that I'm a fan of. I'm just love her. This is one Miss Rosemary uh, Cheeseman Jennings. Now, and she, Miss Jennings was originally born in she was born the April the 5th, '63, in Barbados in the Bahamas. Now, I did a video about Vicky Gates some time ago, which is a comparison video. I mean, sorry, not Vicky. I mean, Rosemary. I'm a big fan of. I just love the physique. She had a great body. She's been around quite some time. She was working out in New York as a executive assistant, and she done, she just had this great physique, a great body. She debuted at the '97 New York Metropolitan Show. Now she turned pro in 2002, and that same year she debuted at the Jan Tanner. Yeah. Then her best showing was she took first place at the 2005 New York Pro Show, and that was back then when New York Pro still had female bodybuilding. After I think 2012, 2011, New York Pro dropped female bodybuilding. I believe was I think was, and it's just, and you think that New York Pro was run by Beth Francis and her husband Steve, and you think anybody who would support female bodybuilding would be Beth Francis, but especially she won't change the sport. And she competed at the Miss Olympia. I think she competed in 2003, but her best showing was in she competed her last competition was the ninth place in was it I think it was 2008. Yeah, she was ninth place. It was 2008, and that was her last competition. Yeah. After that, she mostly worked behind the scenes. She got married to Alex Rodriguez. No, Alex Ramirez. Alex Ramirez was the husband of the late Franny Barrows. Now, I'm sorry, I skipped a little bit. I jump a little bit sometimes. The next lady I have here is Heather Foster. I'm a big fan of Heather Foster. I'm Facebook friends with her. I follow her on social media. Now, Heather was born in you know the November the 20th of 1966 in Kingston, Jamaica. She's from Jamaica. Now she started her debut in the City College, New York, of New York, and I forgot that I don't have the date. I was looking for the date, but I couldn't find it. I think it was like 92, 96, I believe. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Sometimes I was research a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's part piece together. Now she turned pro in 2000, and she made her pro debut at the Jantana Classic. And Jantana, if you know anything, it was one of the standalone female bodybuilding shows. It was one of the few women shows where it was just strictly for the ladies. There was no, it was a pro am show too. There was no men attached to it. It was just strictly a lady show, and one of the few and first women shows. Yeah, I don't think Rosemary was that huge. You know, yeah. Hey, John Freely, welcome. Yeah, there's a lot of women from there was. I think there's quite a few. If you talk about women from Caribbean, you have Rosemary, you have you know, Heather Foster, both from the Caribbean. Some great women from that end of the world. I think one thing with the Caribbean is it's a very kind of masculine kind of society that it's like hard for female bodybuilders to come out of there. And I think we just wish to do this. They do have a show in um in Puerto Rico. Show maybe in I don't know about the Dominican Republic, but maybe the Virgin Islands or try in Barbados or maybe Jamaica. You know, she's muscles that thing. Now now she her best showing was in 2000 in best showing was in 2000 she won the women's pro extravaganza, and also in 2006 at the I forgot, Kajma Ja. Yeah, I forgot about Kajma. She didn't make my list. I like her, but she didn't make my list. So so no offense to her, but she didn't make my list. But her best show also was at the 2006 Olympia Super Show, which took first place. And she also competed at the 2010 Miss Olympia, which took sixth. And really, after that, her last show as competitor was at the 2000 and see, I think it was 2000 and those were her last show was the 2011 Miss Olympia, and that was her last competitive show. Now, and this is also about Heather. Heather is a singer. She knows how to sing. She sings in chorus. She has a nice singing background. She has a nice singing voice. If you really listen to it, she does some. She does her own like little talk show thing. She does interviews with likes of Bev Francis, Yaxini King, and also she did an interview with Mala Ash. So if you follow her on social media, you'll check it out. She posts her videos on also on Facebook and also on Instagram. Now here's another lady that is one of the, this is we're talking about huge. This is one of I would say one of the biggest women in the sport, and this is one Miss Lisa Lewis, and she was a a giant, quite literally a giant, probably one of the third or fourth tallest women in the sport, I believe. Now she was born March the 9th of 1967 in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, um, Lisa made she debuted in bodybuilding at the Missouri State Championships, and she earned her pro card in 1997. Yeah, and you know, then her pro debut the same year at the Jantana Classic, and that's like I said, that's one of the great shows. That was one of the greatest shows, for female bodybuilding. Now, her best showing was in '98, where she took first at the Jantana Classic. And yeah, wow, you met Heather at '97 Nationals. That's cool, John. That's really cool. Yeah, that's cool that you met Heather. Wow, that's cool. Pretty cool. Anyway, now her best showing was at the '98 Jantana Classic, taking first place, and then 2000, which she took third as a heavyweight. And also her last competition after she retired was 2002 GNC Show of Strength, where she took I think fifth as a heavyweight, and she was pretty she was huge. I mean, I think she was one of the biggest girls in competition at the time. I think the person that probably beat her out is Nicole had to be Nicole Bass. Nicole Bass probably beat her out as the tallest back then in the '90s. But I think the ones that are taller now, I think has to be, I don't know. All time tallest is Nicole Bass. Currently competing as a pro now, I think has to be really Monique Jones. I think Monique's about 5'10". I think she's currently the tallest right now competing as a pro. But that her nickname was called the Amazon, and she deserved that. She was just huge, and I'm surprised. I think the reason why she didn't win more shows because how big she was. But the same show too, that was cool. Lisa too, yeah. I would love to do interview. I would love to reach out to her. I know she, like I said, this picture here, she still it's in this. She works as a trainer. I think she has her own gym. I don't know if she has, how much social media. She should be on Instagram or on Twitter or something like that. I'm gonna do a real search to see if I can find it or something. I'm hoping that she's still in the sport in a way. Now, number 7 is a lady that I have become well acquainted with and I'm a fan of, and that is the Tigress herself, one Miss Tisha Thomas. And I'm a big fan of Miss Thomas. We did an interview a while ago. I've done many interviews about her. I like her story, how she was overweight, and that's how she got the body because she was overweight. She's a mother of three kids. She's a grandmother. And she's over in Germany, doing her thing. Now, Tisha made her. She was born on November 28th, 1970, and she's originally from Chicago, Illinois, but she was living in New York for a good while. Now, in 2010, she made her debut as a bodybuilder at New York American Championship. She earned her pro card in 2015, and she you know competed her first pro show at the 2016 Tampa Bay at the Tampa Bay Pro. Now, her best showing was at the Linden York at the Linden Norfolk Pro, where she got third. That was 2017, and her last show was the Tampa Bay um, in 2019, which took 13th. And she know after that she retired. She really right now she's focusing on her career. She just had her documentary by herself put out, and I watched it. It's a pretty good documentary. It was just yeah, she still living in Germany. You know, yeah, they were the same heavyweight classes, 97 classes. Nicole, we Cooks and Lisa were the same lineup. Yeah, I'm surprised that Emery, Emery Cook never ever got to be a pro. I don't. It's just how it is, John. I don't know how some people, like it took a long time for Nicole get her pro card. And when she finally got it, then she competed one show, and then she boom, that was it. But that's always a debate. How some people compete in this. Like anyway, hey, if y'all in this stream, drop a like. This, also I have my If you look at my ticker tape, I have my Cash App. Send me a little something there too. Also, I have a PayPal, and also I have a GoFundMe. So just keep me going. Help me out, support me because I can use it. It's expensive, especially with the computer I got. I'm trying to save up a little bit and give myself a brand new computer. This one has been I had it for almost 6 years, and sometimes it just be rah rah rah. I live on a budget. Now, like I said, I'm a big fan of Tisha. She's a great person, and she does her COVID exercise thing. I come on every now and then. I can't do exercise too much because my knees bother me, but every now and then I do. Now, next up here is, I know some people gonna be mad because why I played this person here, but hey, this is my list. And these are some of my favorites, and I know she should be a little higher than the others, but hey, this is my list. I said again, and this is one Miss Linda Murray, and I know we would say, what? Wait a minute, Linda Murray is number 7, number 8, behind Teacher Thomas. Here's I'm gonna say this again. I like Linda Murray. She's all right, but she's not my be all favorite bodybuilder. I like her. She's pretty good. I would say back in the day, I put her a little lower, but the fact is I still have respect for her. Now, Linda was born February the 22nd, 62. Wow, today is her birthday. So when I get a chance, I'm gonna make a video for her. She was born in Detroit, Michigan. Now, but Linda is probably one of the greatest Miss Olympias of all time. One of the greatest. She started in bodybuilding in 1985 at the Michigan States, and then she earned her pro card in 1990. 91, where she made her pro debut, where she won the Miss Olympia. Now, where her record is just pretty much what it is, extensive. She from uh, 91 to 95, she's been Miss Olympia. And then from 2002 to 2003, she won Miss Olympia. Not much else. And then in 2004, she took second place in heavyweight division, and that was her last competition. But as you know, right now she's been doing more for bodybuilding, for women's bodybuilding in the last few years, as she's working. Thank you, John. Thank you. I pretty much thank you a lot. I really appreciate your support and everybody's here because I got 5 people here watching, and we appreciate this. And she's really been doing a lot of work with the Wings of Strength for female bodybuilding. She has 3 shows I know of. She has the Norfolk show that was started back in I think 2016. She has the Savannah Pro that started last year, and also she has a show supposed to be in Detroit, but because of the COVID going on, that show was canceled. That show was started last year because the COVID hit. It had to cancel that show. And she's, like I said, she's one of 3 Miss Olympias from the state of Michigan. 3. You kind of because the second one is right behind her, and that is and we all know who that is. One Miss Iris Floyd Kyle, and we all know she is the all-time greatest Miss Olympia. Pretty much. And she was born August 2nd, 22nd of 1974 in Benton Harbor, Michigan. And she started her career in '94 at the Long Beach Muscle Championships, and she earned her pro card in '98. Now she made her pro debut in '99 at the Miss International. Now her best showings throughout her career was 2004 at the Miss International, where she took the Miss Olympia, and the Miss, 2004 went to Miss International. Then 2004 at the Miss Olympia. Then from 2006 to 2014, she was Miss Olympia. Yeah. And then from 2004 to 2000 and I think 2002 to 2007, she was Miss International, and then from 2008 to 2013, wrong. I'm wrong. 2008 she didn't do too well because that was the year she took. I think she took one show. I was correct if I'm assuming, and then after that, her last Miss Olympia was 2014. We all know what happened. Yeah, Iris is the GOAT. Yeah. Oh, she lives in Houston now. I thought she was living in Vegas. Because I know she has that uh a cafe in Vegas. Must have moved. I know she was uh I know she was married to that dude, a Japanese dude, and I heard they broke up or something. I think they were married, they were engaged, you know, and then I think they broke up or something. Now there's some controversy with Iris. Now back in 20 I think 2016, she wanted to compete at the Rising Phoenix, and I don't know why they did this, and that they said that they were saying, well, because you had to compete in other shows, but she's a 10-time Miss Olympia, the last Miss Olympia. You think she will automatically get a shot, at the at the at the automatic shot at the Rising Phoenix. Oh, Shang with Renee Tony. Oh yeah, I like Renee Tony. Renee Tony was massive. I'm sorry I didn't put her on my list. Because the problem with Renee Tony is I like Renee Tony, but I'm sorry I didn't put her on my list. Yeah, Renee was massive. Yeah, yeah. I thought Renee was living in California one time. I remember she had a John. I remember Renee had a fire at her apartment or some of her house. I think she lost some cash or something because somebody did a GoFundMe for her. And I think her and her girlfriend and their kids had to move. But that was been a while ago. I think it was been a couple years ago. Now, but like I said, you know, there was that controversy in 2016 where she wanted to be at the Olympia, but they should have given her a shot. I think what it was, I think that because there was issues with Iris, I think they feel like if she competed and she won, I think it would have. They feel like it would have probably made it difficult for them to have any more Rising Phoenixes. And I think it should have done it, but still, it was probably just a way to save the show because when she won so many of those Miss Olympias, and I think if Alina Pupa, this is just in my opinion, if Alina Pupa had won in 2014, they would have kept on going because they had a new Miss Olympia, but Alina didn't win, so that was it, and that's why they canceled it. They could have kept on going. They could have brought it back and see if maybe Alina came in bad condition or something like that. They both live Houston. She's training Deidre. They're all in Texas. Yeah, I know Deidre Dillard. I follow her too on social media. I think Deidre also has some shows. Wow, John, man, you really know some people. Hey, John, do me a favor. Reach out to these ladies you can. Maybe if you follow on social media, I did try to reach out Iris by doing the interview, but she turned me down. But I would love to, do an interview with Renee Tony, if possible. I think she's one of the amazing women, just one of those great massive monsters from back in those days. Now, next up, I have on my list is a lady that considered one of the best posers of her day, and that's Yolanda Hughes Hay. Now, I'm just gonna say Miss Hughes because I know she got divorced some time ago. Is Was born on October the 30th, 1963, in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You know, she competed, made her bodybuilding debut in '84 at the Iron Maiden. She got a pro card in '92, and she debuted in '92 at the Miss Olympia. That's pretty good. You competed in Miss Olympia. All right. Now, her best showings was from 97, 98, where she won the Miss International. Then in '98, she took second at the Miss O. Now after '99, she retired, where she took third at the Miss International. And I think she was one of those great posers. She had a great look, great physique. You know, I think after that, I think she's mostly for good time. She was teaching posing and other stuff. I did a video. I did a video about her. If you follow me on my Facebook, my YouTube page, I I did a video about Yolanda Hughes. She lived in Germany for a time. She was married. She was one time she lived in a German community, being the only black woman there. And she just had I think a gymnastic background, and that made her a great poser. She had a great skill to her. I'm a big fan of hers. She was pretty good back in the day. Now, next up is a lady that you know she I think one of the most underrated ladies in bodybuilding, and that is Kimberly Perez. Now, Miss Perez was born on May the 17th of 1970 in Sanford, North Carolina. So she is from, yeah, I think her husband was in the military. I believe so too. Was her first husband or second husband? I think she got married, or that was the same guy. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think, yeah, he was stationed in Germany. Now, Miss Perez was born in Sanford, North Carolina, and she was also. I remember I did a video about Kim Perez. She was also in a military family. Now she competed. She made her bodybuilding debut in 2003 at the Oklahoma Novice. She became a pro in 2005, and she debuted at the 2005 Europa Super Show. Now she does not have a lot of good showings. I think her best showings was at the Kim's all the favorites. So oh my God, yeah, Kim was great. But one thing that was about Kim, what they say was that she had a great upper body, but the problem was her legs didn't come in as like it should have. And I think Kim would be perfect for physique now. I think if Kim was competing today like she was, if she had her shape today, like today, if she has a shape, if she was if we can take and bring the Kim from those years ago to today, she would be great for female physique. I think physique would probably be a better division for her because she had more. She wasn't as large as some of the other girls. She had this great upper body, but her legs was where it was kind of lacking. Now, she, like I said, not a lot of big time showings. I think in 2005 was the Europa show, was a big time showing. After that, she competed. Her last show was in the Chicago Pro in 2014, and there's nothing to find about her. And she has no social media. One time I found an old email, and it's gone. It's dead. It doesn't work anymore. I couldn't even get. So here's the thing: if anybody like John, I know you know some people, knows some people. If you can get anybody to get in contact with her, just I have my social media. Like you can follow me on Facebook. I have IG. Just get in contact me that way. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, John, was her legs never came up like it should have. And I think she would have been better off in physique and then in bodybuilding. You know, upper body is one thing, but legs is one thing. If your legs don't come in with the rest of your body, that's the thing that hurts a lot of women in the sport. Anyway, next up here, yeah, yeah, she disappeared. I think somebody said she's somewhere in California, but don't know exactly where in California. You know, that's the thing. It's like she's like up there with Tina Lockwood. No one knows where she's at. Now, next up is the first black woman to be Miss Olympia. That is one Miss Carla Dunlap Khan, and she was born on October 27th. No, was it 27th of 1954 in Newark, New Jersey. Now she started. She really started her career back in the 70s, 1979, at the Best of the World, which was kind of like the precursor for the Miss Olympia. And she turned pro in 1982, and she competed at the 1982 Miss Olympia. And then her best showing was the 1982 World Championship, which was first place. Then in 1983, she she won the Miss Olympia, and also the the Caesar World Cup, or they call it the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and that was the movie where they talk about. That was where they based the movie, um, the Pumping Iron 2, the women. That was where we saw Bev Francis. But she was really one of the first women of color to win Miss Olympia. And she had a pretty good career. And after that, she did a lot of stuff on the side. She represented the sport. She did some commentating and stuff like that. She did some hosting. I think she even had her own club, and I think she even trained other bodybuilders. You just want, it's just she's always going to be the first Black Miss Olympia, and she's just a legend. Everybody's gonna always know her as as Miss Carla Dunlap. She's just one of the greatest. And I did a video about Carla Dunlap. You know. Hmm. Anyway, next up here is a woman that a lot of people know. She's it's just I was trying to find so much information on her. It's hard to find. Like a lot of these ladies, there's not a lot of Wikipedia or even a lot of stuff on them. But most of it, I'm just gonna, pretty much, I'm just gonna give you some information. This is one Miss Andrea Harris White, and she competed. I think she probably debuted back in the '80s. Most definitely, I know it's the '80s. I'm not sure which show. She probably also around about the '80s, maybe about the early '90s. She debuted. I know she did quite a few Miss Olympias. No, she competed in '94 up to I think '95, and after that, she just kind of disappeared. I think after about maybe '95, '96. John, if you get the information, just let me know. Cause like I say, it was so hard. I was trying to find so much on her. It's hard to find anything. A lot of these ladies, it's just a lot of information is just up in the air. Um, and it's hard to get anything on these. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Right. And like I said, I just couldn't find much information on it. But from what I do know is that I remember uh, you know, she was a police officer. I think it was somewhere in Texas or something. I wasn't sure. I remember seeing a magazine of her in an office in a police officer's uniform, and I forgot, was it somewhere in the Midwest, Texas? I just wasn't sure. I was trying to remember. It's just been so long ago. But I know from what I've finished, I've gathered that she's an actress now. She's done some TV and some movies here and there. And you know, like I said, she's been, she keeps herself pretty much busy. And it would nice to know what she's doing. I would really like to reach out to her. Maybe if she has any social media and talked about her. And this lady I call, this is Andrea Shaw's clone. No, she's a clone of Andrea Shaw's clone of Andrea Harris White. I mean, I think they might be from the same state. I think Andrea Harris White from Michigan, maybe. Like I said, I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I feel like she's from the Midwest. Now, next up here's a lady I'm a fan of. I just think she had a great physique, a great body. You know, yeah, she was a cop, but I just don't know which state it was. John, I'm not sure. Was it Texas? Was it Michigan or someplace? I mean, I seen a picture of her, in a uniform, but I just forgot what state it was. Since so long ago. Like some of these ladies who are not the top shelf women, who are not the Linda Murrays, the Denise Rusowskis, or something like that. Some of these ladies don't get enough attention, and you have to dig in some old magazines. I probably had to dig some like, if I can, maybe like like go to the women's physique world offices and dig in their archives. That's probably the only place I probably can really find it, or maybe Iron Man or Flex or somebody. They might have all the information, but you're not gonna find it on the internet because it's just hard to find on the internet. Just dig it. But anyway, right here I have one Miss Juanita Bleno, and I was a big fan of her. I think she had a great physique, a great body. Um, I don't have her birthday, but I know she's from Chicago, Illinois. Now I was talking to her some time ago on IG. I was trying to get an interview with her, but she never responded. We talked back and forth, but she never let me know the best time. I might reach out to her again, about doing an interview sometime soon because I'd like to talk to her, see if she's thinking about coming back. But anyway, for what I know for her, I seen some videos where she was competing around about the 90s, and I think she competed in the nationals. And that time her name was Malloy. I think that was her either her married name or her maiden name. And I think Blendo might be her married name, whatever. Now she earned her pro card in 2012 and competed at the 2013 Tampa Bay Pro. And her best showing was at Chicago, where which took second place. And she also competed at the Miss Olympia at sixth. But she last competed, and she hadn't competed since 2014, and that was at Chicago Pro. And that's because I think that's her hometown state. That's where she's from. And she had a great physique, just broad shoulders, amazing body. It's a great look to her. She was one of those. I think judges didn't give her an opportunity because she did not this is one thing. Another example of a woman who did not bend to the will and call of silicone, and that's the women I respect a lot. They really respect their physiques where they didn't do like everybody else. And I think that's one thing. She had a great look to her, a very exotic look to her. I think she might be a little bit I think she might be mixed. She might be a little bit mixed by looks of her. You know, being her first name is Juanita, but Juanita. But and Blando, I'm not sure if that's her maiden name or that's her married name. I think Malloy was probably her maiden name, maybe. I remember seeing a video of her on a website. She was at the Nationals, and and I remember she competed to show her name was Malloy on stage. It might have been her married name. I think Blendo might be her married name. Yeah, it's my boo Juanita, Flame Treasure, Monique Hayes, all hang out in Atlanta. Oh, so they're in Atlanta, huh? Yeah, I like Monique Hayes. Monique Hayes is pretty good too, one too. Yeah, yeah. Boy, John, you know him all. Hey, John, if you ever interested in like coming on sometime and dropping, maybe meet with me and Jared. Well, the problem with my computer, I can't have too many people on one time. If I ever get to the level where I get on myself another computer and like have people when I'm on StreamYard, I would like to invite you, John. So just if you get a chance, leave your email in description. And these are all best friends. Yeah, it's good. It's good if you ladies travel together and be best friends. Because I know often some of these ladies can be a bit catty, and there's some women I know that don't like each other. I have often heard some of these ladies they're not too much a fan of certain ladies in the sport. But this lady I kind of like. I'm a big fan of this lady right here. I know some people say she should be a little higher on this, but I respect her. And plus, her service for our country, being a former United States Marine, Semper Fi. She's a great physique. That's marvelous, Margie V Martin, and she just had a birthday. First this month, and I missed it. I usually do videos anytime when some of these ladies have a birthday. I do a video. And Margie's born February 7th, 1979, in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, Margie started her career when she was still in the military, when she competed at the Far East Armed Forces bodybuilding show. And then, Terry, what's her face? Oh my gosh, I loved her. She had a great physique. I remember her. I thought maybe after 2013, if she competed, I thought she could have been a real threat to Iris. But then I remember Monique Hayes, because I follow her on social media. Monique said that she got in a car wreck before she got married. And then her career was just after that. I mean, she had a great physique. She has so much promise. She just got her pro card, I think, in 2012, and she was supposed to be competing, maybe next year, and then I think she could have maybe by 2014, she probably would have beat Iris for the title. I think she could have beat Iris for the title in a year or two, but then she had that accident, and and I mean, when I saw her on she did a video which said she was thinking about coming back, but she wouldn't be able to come back and live a bodybuilder. She was thinking about maybe doing figure of physique, but she had a great body. I think she has so much potential. She could have been a real threat for Iris for the title if given the chance. But just that car wreck just messed up her whole career. I mean, that's so sad. Especially how much potential she had. But anyway, um, Margie made her pro debut at the Toronto Pro Super Show. And between 2015 and 2016, she has been the Rising Phoenix World Champion. Also, she's won the Toronto Super Show in 2018 and 2019. And was it? Let's see what's it. And she plays. Also, she won the 2019 Omaha Pro. And last year, she placed second at the 2020 Miss Olympia. And there's a great debate that some people thought that Margie was going to win the Miss Olympia. But the thing with Margie has a great body. She has a great physique. But the problem with Margie is that Margie has like a kind of issues with her torso. As you know, Margie has two children. She was married. She got divorced some time ago. She has two kids, and she also has that C-section scar on her lower abdominals, and that affects her abs because and depending on she had two kids back to back, and depending how the childbirth affects your abdominal wall, your abs not gonna really come in like they should. And plus, she had a C-section, which she had to cut the cell wall. She don't have a great set of abs, and I think that's what probably hurts her in competition. Now she was able to win those first two Rising Phoenix shows, pretty much by skin of teeth. Some people said, but that last one she lost to Hella. That was just what it is. And I think with Margie is that I just wish I was on Instagram and she was telling about her situation, how she was just just so I think she was just going through a bit of a breakdown. And I told her that she shouldn't apologize to anybody about how she feels and what she's going through, because a lot of these ladies, they go through a lot, especially dieting and all the mental stress of being a competitive bodybuilder. It's a lot for these ladies, and I respect them. I told them I would love to reach out and do an interview with Margie and talk to her. She's an amazing person, especially her background being former military and what she's doing for the sport. I think she's an amazing person. I think she represents the sport really well. Now, next up on the list I have here is the champ. And people say, wait a minute, she's the champ. Yeah, she's a current champion. She still got the ways to go. And this is one Miss Andrea Shaw, and Miss Shaw was born December the 18th, 1983, in Clinton Township, Michigan. And she's one, like I said again, she's one of three Miss Olympias out of the state of Michigan. Counting Linda, um, Iris, the other two. And I'm going to do a comparison this week. I'm going to go do a comparison about the three Miss Olympias. And she originally competed in figure back in 2007 at the Karen Zembri Classic. I can't think of it right, but she turned pro in 2018, and then she decided to switch over to physique. Now she competed at she made a pro debut in 2019, and in that same year, that was 2019. She was physique still, but she competed at the 2019 Chicago Pro, and that show she lost to Alicia Young by a point. And I mean, Alicia's pretty impressive. Alicia's a mass muscle. It's a mass monster, compared to a lot of girls. And then she come back, turn around next year. She wins the Omaha, and then she wins the Rising Phoenix. And then she turns around and she wins the Miss Olympia, which makes this she has a triple header, and she has a impressive physique. You know, I know I know you can't believe it, but the fact is, this is my list, John. This is my list. And you got to think about it. She's below, two. She's way below. I know this is my list. And she's like I said. One thing is she was a physique competitor, and then she just turned bodybuilding no more than about 2 years ago. You know, and she just won Miss Olympia. She has not really got to the point yet. Yes, she's a Miss Olympia, and she should, maybe she should be a little bit higher. But this is my list, John, and these are my favorites. And she's not up there as high as she should be because, like I said, she's representing herself pretty good, but she still has not have gained the accolades as some of the other ladies have. You know, she's still pretty much a novice in a way. But like I said, compared to Laura Quavi, Vicky Gates, Iris, and all the others, she's still pretty much, and she's not really truly a bodybuilder. Like I said, she got good part of her career as a physique competitor. The last 2 years, while some of the others been competing as bodybuilder for maybe 10 years or more. You know, so that's why she's not as high on the list. So no offense, this is my list. Anyway, let's get back to, and like I said, she's got a perfect physique. Yeah, that's what the IFB wants. But like I said, we all know the IFBB, they're kind of frugal. They just don't know what they want. They want women with enough muscle. They want women with too much muscle. They want women with too little muscle. So I'm not going by the IFBB anymore because they just. And the thing about IFBB, they stabbed female bodybuilding in the heart when they decided to drop their Miss Olympia by using that lame excuse because But you got to think about it. The Olympia weekend. Miss Olympia was part of the Olympia weekend, meaning that ticket sales went with all the other shows. The women's shows, ticket sales went separate from the men's. You're buying tickets, you're buying for the whole show. So, that's how some book credit I've been using. Now, the lady I got here next up, and she's pretty impressive. I'm a big fan of hers, and that is one Miss Monique Jones. And I like Monique Jones. Monique's just, I follow her on social media. She does often crowd off. She's on TikTok a lot. And Monique was born. She already she has a birthday coming up. She was born March the 12th of 1979 in Knox, Kentucky. Fort Knox, that's where they have the mint, where I have all the gold, and that's the gold that backs the U.S. Currency. Now, in 2008, she debuted as a bodybuilder at the South Carolina State Show, and then she got a program in 2010. And her first show was the Pro Bodybuilding Weekly Championship in 2011. Now, between 2012 to 2013, she won Chicago Pro. and then she won the after being out of the game for almost about 3 years. She won the inaugural Romanian Muscle Fest in 2018. And last year she took fifth place at the Miss Olympia and fifth place at the Rising Phoenix. And I'm a fan of her. I mean, I think she's one of the tallest women right now competing in bodybuilding. You know, yeah, Iris can never be accepted by the judge. Yeah, Iris, one thing, Iris can never accept because the fact was, I think one thing with Iris was too dark, and they say Iris was too muscular. I think there's a lot of prejudice to women who are dark skinned. That's what it was. And her look was she wasn't as people say she wasn't as facially feminine as they wanted her to be compared to Andrea. Andrea's kind of a pretty girl. She has that model look. Like if you like, just like there's a picture of her I've shown of her somewhere where she's like in her like fully dressed. You see her face. You see her face. You'll see her body. You see her face. You think she's a supermodel. You know, she has that very those big eyes, very very square jawline, very kind of model like looks. You see her body, you wouldn't think she was a bodybuilder. You think you saw her just wearing a nice pantsuit or something that wasn't so revealing of a physique. You think she was just a model. But I think, like I said about Monique, Monique's pretty much one of the tallest women in competing right now. At the Rising Phoenix, they gave the most muscular award to Andrea, but I think Monique should have won it. If not Monique, maybe Irene Anderson. One of those two deserve that award. No thanks to Andrea, but I think she was a muscular compared to Monique. Monique, and also Monique's a mother. She has a daughter. Her daughter's like, she's in her 20s now. I think she's going to college. And Monique's a teacher. She's a trainer. She helps competitors, both men and women, in proposing. I follow her on social media. I even reached out to her about doing an interview. And I think she's impressive. I like her. I like Monique Jones. Yes, I look to her. She has those big doe eyes. And here's the thing: she reminds me of a certain porn star. She reminds me of Carmen Hayes. Just I think just around the eyes and the face. Her and Carmen have the same kind of eyes. You know, I think she looks like she just looks. I mean, I might do a comparison of Carmen Hayes and Monique Jones. Now, next up here is a lady from the Caribbean, from the country Haiti, by way of Quebec, and that is Diane Cadeau. And Diana was born in July the 2nd of 1966, and she's originally from Haiti, but her family moved to Quebec, Canada, when she was a little girl. Now she got into bodybuilding in 1902 at the Quebec Metropolitan Show, and then she earned her pro card in '97. In that same year, she competed at the Jantana Classic. Now, one of her best showings of during her career was the '97 uh, Canada Cup, where she won that show. And then in 2004, she took first place in the lightweight division at the Miss Olympia. Now, from 2007 2008, she took second place as lightweight at the Miss Olympia. It took second place. That's when at the Miss Olympia for 2007 2008. And after 2011, she retired. And Diana had a great body. But here's the thing about Diana's physique. Diana had a short torso, and yeah, yeah, her daughter looks like her. Monique kind of look like her. You would think that was her daughter. If I was thinking, I think it's her sister. But Bessie, I know Monique's like she's gonna be 42 in a little bit, but you wouldn't think of she was that old, that up there, that older, that much older, But you think her daughter was a sister, but she had her when I probably in her early 20s, maybe by my later teens, but probably her early 20s. And like I said, Diana, she always had a great physique. I mean, one thing about Diana was she had a short torso, kind of like a certain bodybuilder, and just her abdominals didn't really come in as good. And I think that's probably the thing that probably hurt her, that thing that she had a short torso. And she one time was dating Kai Green back in the day, and eventually they broke up. And then now the last few years I've seen her, she just don't look like her and stuff anymore. She has gotten, I think she done some skin peeling. She got a little lighter. She got breast implants. Her breast implants got bigger, and then she also, I think she got a butt implants, and she also got a way where she tucked in her waist a little smaller. I mean, she don't look like the same kind of Diane Cadeau if you look at her now. I think she looked better when she was bodybuilding. I always loved her skin complexion look, especially when she was in red. Something about Diane Cadeau in red, she looked beautiful. And then she was legal secretary. She really stuck up and mean and used to date Kaiden. Yeah. Wow, she was like that, John? Wow. You've been around the world, John. Hey, we got 6 people in here. Hit a like. And also, again, hey, you see my Cash App? You see my PayPal? Send me a little something. But she was like that, John? And mean, stuck up and mean. And she used to, I know she used to date that Kai Green. You said Kia Green. You forgot the, but yeah, I didn't know she was like that. Wow. I know she did an interview I got with AJ Roberts over there, female bodybuilding channel. I need to watch it all the way because her and Annie Freitas really got too extreme with this plastic surgery. They really got too extreme. They don't look like themselves anymore, kind of. So yeah, so we're gonna move on. You know, Next up we have here is Asha Hadley, and Asha is originally from Florida. I don't get her birthday. I was trying to find her birthday. She don't. Like I said, I think she was born. I know I did a video about her. She was born around about, I think, December. I know I did a video about her. I was trying to find that video, and I think she was born maybe around 80 something, in the 80s. I most definitely know she's in the 80s. So she got to be in her mid to late 30s. Now she got in bodybuilding around about 94. She competed as a uh, figure competitor, and then after a while she turned pro around about 2012, 2011. Now for a while she competed physique, and before she retired, before she switched, her last competition was at the 2016 Miss Olympia, where she competed in the physique division. And then, most recently, as you know, Asha has returned. She, she won the inaugural, Savannah, Linda Murray Savannah Pro. And then she competed at the Olympia also. So I think she made top 10. I think she placed 7th at the uh, Miss Olympia. And also, she's a registered nutritionist. She's married. She's a big fan of the Florida Gators, and she lives in Texas. And I wonder how she's doing in Texas. Texas. I think Texas is finally thawing out from all that snow and ice that hit from them. And I follow Asha on social media. I think she's gonna be doing all right. I reached out about doing an interview with her too, but I don't know. Like a lot of these ladies, they sometimes have contracts and management, and and don't think that it's important to reach out to like small YouTubers like myself. But I always thought she was gonna make the transition to bodybuilding eventually because she has a great body. And I think one thing was she had a great set of abs, and I think she might need to sit out this season and really work on more size. She has a great body, but she's still more or less a physique competitor. She's put a little size, but I think she need to get more size on her legs. She did pretty good placing 7th at the Miss Olympia. You know, but you still have people like Hella Trevino and Monique Jones and Irene Anderson. A lot of and then Alicia Younger compete this year's Miss Olympia. So there's a good chance if she's lucky, if she can make it the top 10, it's good. She gonna have to cross her fingers on this one. You know, but I think Andrea, Asha has a great physique, a great body. she has a lot of potential as a in the sport. She just need to, twerk it up a little bit, But I'm in Dallas. We have a lot of top level girls here. Yeah, recently, John, if you watched my interview I did with Jada Beverly, she's thinking about moving to Dallas too, because it's too expensive. Like a lot of it used to be back in the day, California was the mecca for a bodybuilder, and Florida's a pretty good place for bodybuilders. But I think you're seeing a lot more um, bodybuilders moving to Texas because the weather. Well, right now weather in right now the weather right now is not that great. The weather's a little bit more conducive for because it's a lot warmer. The climate's a lot warmer, and plus it's not as expensive to live in compared to California. So I think you'll see a lot more bodybuilders living in California. I mean, a lot more going to be living down around the south because it's cheaper, like Texas, Atlanta, and also Florida, most definitely. You know, but yeah, I think that's a big thing. Now, right up here next is up and comer, yeah, and that is um, one Miss Rashana Boswell. Now, Rashana, she been competing for a while. She started a career about in 2012. I don't get all the information. I was trying to get everything. She made transition to from physique to bodybuilding around about last year. You know, and she's been competing for quite some time. I really reached out to her a few times about doing the interview. She's quite busy. As you know, she competed most of last year. She competed at the I think she competed at the Savannah Pro. Most definitely, she competed at the Chicago Pro. If I remember, she competed in New York too. I think she competed in New York also. Now, at Chicago Pro, I had a debate where I think she should have won Chicago. But the thing is, I think, yeah, 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 it's cheaper. hmm Yeah, it's funny with America. They want to spend money helping citizens. Like I said, that's true. That's true, John. Yeah, but like I said, it's Chicago. She should. I think she should have won Chicago. But the thing is that she needed to really bring in her back. She's really thick. She's a thick girl. If you look at Rashana, And I think one thing I think that might some people might say that really hurt her is her tattoos. She's a little bit too tatted. She has a great physique, but I think I think that's I've heard a lot of the girls here is it being too extremely tatted. A few tattoos here and there is all right, but when you get to the point where it's covering some of your best assets like your arms and your abdominals or your back, where you don't really see a good full detail of the muscle, that's the thing that's hurt a lot of competitors. But I think she has a lot of promise. There's a good chance. I think she said she applied for the ambassador, um, as an ambassador for Weakness Strength, but I think the Rena Streams, if you look at the list of ladies on there, not too many ladies are too over tattooed. And I think that's the thing is, I think they have looked for a certain look. Now we got a few here and there, a few there, maybe small ones there. But if you're too overly tattooed, I think the Rena Streams is not going to pick you up. That's the thing. You have to have a limit when it comes to tattoos. I think she has a great body, great physique. You know, next up here is a lady I just did an interview with. I'm become a really a fan of, and that is Miss Jada Beverly. And Miss Beverly is from uh, Ohio, and she lives a little bit around Columbus. And she's originally physique. Now she got in the sport. I interviewed. I think she got in sport about the early 2000s, and she turned pro about I think about 2015, 2016. And she mostly been competing as a physique competitor. But just recently, if you follow my site, we did an interview where we talked about how at doing the same show, she was told by judges to go pro, to switch to bodybuilding, and that was the same show where she was at with Mala Ash, and and you wonder why Mala Ash. I mean, reason why I put Jada on my list because I like Jada because we did a nice interview with her. These ones don't have Malachi. I like Malachi, but she's not my list. And I think she has a lot of promise. She has a look to her. She has a great physique. Um, I think what I like about her is that she's not overly tatted. She stays away from the silicone. She's doing pretty good, and I think she might need to sit out this year and work on her size. Put on a little more size to her. She has a lean look to her. You know, I don't know why they want to push the body to up to bodybuilding. I think she still got a way to go. But these judges, they have a double standard. I just don't understand. They look for something. I think what it is, they really want to fill up the women's bodybuilding division with more physique competitors to try to push out the real bodybuilders. But no offense to Jada, I think I like Jada. She's really a good and down. She's really down to earth lady. I think she has a lot of promise. I think she has a great future in the sport. Yeah, she's gorgeous, John. She's a pretty lady. She has a great look to her. I think she has a great future. I think she might do pretty well in the sport, especially if she's attractive. She's very feminine looking. I think the judges in the crowd will like her. Now, one lady I have here is a fan of. That's this Tana Hugh she's originally from the Caribbean. She's from Jamaica, and she lives in Canada. And I thought I didn't. I was rushing to get this information together. I forgot to get her the information, but I know she lives in around about Toronto. She's been competing since the about the early 2000s. She made her debut at the Canadian championships, and she earned her pro card back in 2014, 2016, I believe. Yeah, 2016, I believe. You know, and she debuted at the Toronto show in 2017. So, not much. Her accolades a few, but here, she took second at the no, she took third at the 2018 Toronto show, which gave her enough points to compete at the Rising Phoenix. And like I said, I'm a big fan of Tana. We often talk on Facebook, Facebook friend of hers. She's yeah. Oh yeah, Tana is a sweetheart. She's wild. I like her. And about her, she's impressive. She has a huge back, and like I said, she's like I think about Tana's maybe about 5'2", maybe 5'3", and seem like shorter female bodybuilders seem like they can compact more muscle on the physique than taller women. You know, if you anything any women under five anyone under women under 5'5" seem like they can compact more muscle. It's harder for taller women to compact more muscle, but if you're under 5'5", you seem like you can put on muscle just like good example like Clark Gamon and Rosemary Jennings and who else can I think of? Um, hmm, who else? Ooh, somebody pop in my head. Johnny, I think you might think of who I talk about. Some um, Paula Suzuki was short. I think Paula Suzuki was like 5'2", 5'3", and a couple other ladies that were like that height. I see that they can compact muscles. She's also a mother. She has a son. She was divorced, and I think one thing also was I mentioned also her abdominals is not that fit in because, like I said, you know, yeah, she's Caribbean. Yeah, she's Caribbean. There's some great female bodybuilders come out of Caribbean, and I think that's why I say you should do more shows over there. You can really recruit a lot of women, especially Caribbean, South America. I know South America has shows separate from the American shows, but you know, you can really just like some women who come from like Selma Labat. There's some women that still down there. We would love to see come compete for states. Maybe once the pandemic settles a little bit, maybe reach out and give some more of the women in South America and Central America, around about the Caribbean, and more opportunities to come compete. Get a new fresh blood in the sport. That's what it needs. If you this is that's back in 2013, John. You remember 2013 when the IFBB pretty much did away with international competitions. You know, and it was hard for female bodybuilding because there was no new fresh women coming from overseas to help fill in the gaps. You just had the few women that were here in America and those you can get from Canada. you know And then with more women coming from, you get more women coming from, from Caribbean and from Europe and from Central Asia and from South America. What it does is it helps build up the internet. When it builds up the division. You have more women from other countries, not just relying on women here in America. Now, got a few more left, and we'll be done. If y'all can hang in for a second, I'd like to thank y'all coming in. Drop a like, you know, share the video when we're done, and subscribe. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If you're not, subscribe. You know. Next up here is Denise Ellis, and she is from Vancouver, Canada. Now, Denise made her pro debut about around the 90s. No. She made her bodybuilding debut about around the 90s. And she's, I don't have a birthday. And she debuted, I think she debuted about the early 2000s. And she competed up to about 2005, 2006. And like I said, I don't have as much information I could find on her because it's hard. Like some of these ladies, like I said, some of these ladies who are not as the superstar level, it's hard to get a lot of information on, you know. But I know she may not active in sport of bodybuilding, but she has her own company back in Vancouver, Canada. She does makeup. She had one of those great physiques. She had a great look to her. I believe she's also from the Caribbean. You know, yeah, Brazil, like similar back. Well, yeah, like yeah, mm, yeah. She's a Jamaican, also from yeah. It just seemed like a lot of great because remember Jamaica is a principality of Great Britain. It was originally well, I thought it was a principality of France originally, but it's a principality of Spain. What somebody told me, and a lot of this, what a lot of if you it's easy for people from certain countries if you're a principality, which means just like all you can do is like it's like with people from Puerto Rico, they can come to America because Puerto Rico and Guam, those countries are U.S. territories, meaning they're technically U.S. citizens. And countries like Jamaica and certain parts of the Caribbean, those countries are British territories or principalities, and Canada is considered British territory or principality. So it's easy for them to travel there. Haiti technically is I don't think it's supposed to it doesn't supposed to be anybody because Haiti kicked out the French, and it's supposed to be its own country. But a lot of Haitians I've known some Haitians have gone to Canada, like we said with Diane Cadeau. But like I said, she had a great physique, impressive body. She's one of those, like I say, it was hard to find a lot of information about her. I did a video about her, but I know she's on IG. You can follow her. She has her own company where she does makeup and stuff. She might even do some bodybuilding shows and do makeup there too. But she's one of those that had a great physique, great body. I think she didn't get a lot of attention because she wanted that got overlooked because of a lot of the girls back then in the early late 90s, early 2000s that really took up like the Debbie Linskys, and you see her Iris, and you see like Zini and Linda Auckland and Bev Francis and those types. They really were probably really so dominant back then that it was so easy to miss somebody like Desiree. And next up here is a lady that I think was one of the sexiest women in bodybuilding, and that is one Miss Kim Harris. And like I said, I didn't get a chance to finish because I saw the time was running out so quick, and I get a chance to finish with Kim. Now, Kim, I know she started her career about the 90s, and she competed up to the 2000s. and she had a look to her. She was just so sexy, and I mean, she was beautiful, and she had a look to her, a style to her. I did a video with her. What I did a comparison video with her with Jada, and I think she just something about her. She had pretty eyes, and I think you think that she will win more shows because the IFB would try to push that narrative. We need more women that were feminine, that were had more feminine, have muscle, and you think someone like Kim would probably win more shows or place a little higher, but it wasn't true. You know, you never know what the IFB wanted. You know, and Well, I followed her. Saw she did a video about a few years ago where Kim works a booth. And she does some of she still do some of the shows. She works in the booths. I think she works for these supplement company. And here's this video pictures from a photo set she did for some guys. This German guy. He did a bunch of pictures with a lot of female bodybuilders. I know Linda and Iris, Franny Barrows, Vicky Dixon. You get a book, and this is just one of I think one of Kim's best pictures in her entire career. I think her eyes. I think those are natural eyes or the contacts. I think she was just sexy. She has just that look and sex appeal about her, and I think that's why I like her. That's why she's on my list. Because I think she just had really true sex appeal about her. Just that that mix of what called sex and flex appeal. You know. So next up and last on the list, this is the last. So I didn't want to take up everybody's time because that's why I said I could just list to like just a few women. I mean, I'll be out here forever. And that is one Miss Yvette Bova. And Miss Bova, before she got in bodybuilding, she was also in the military. She was in the Air Force. And the thing about Miss Bova, she was really the first female bodybuilder to get into the adult industry. Now, there's some girls who did some magazine lays out, maybe some topless and some nude stuff, but she has done full hardcore porn. She had a home website, but her website got turned off. I think she decided to do mostly OnlyFans, and I think the thing with the keeping a website is kind of expensive. Now, she was born in Junction City, um, Kansas, on April the 6th, 1965. And she started her bodybuilding career in '97 at the Maui Muscle Classic. Now she never turned pro. That's the thing was with her. She never turned pro because I think mostly, you know, she's still amateur. And her last competitive show was the 2017 U.S. Championship. And most of her career in the adult industry. She done videos and layouts and stuff. Uh, it's just I remember she did I think the first time she did her adult industry, she started in adult industry was for a website called Cara Davis, and she did a scene with that dude. It's a dude with a wig, wearing shades, with a hook dick, and and then she started doing her own stuff, producing her own pornos, and it's just something different. And recently I did a video where I mentioned that she had to get her breast implant together because she was having issues, and I think she just got them redone. I follow her on social media. She says she might be coming back and competing this year or next year. You know, and the thing with her, she kind of like she has the same thing like Diane Cadeau. Yeah, Rybet has a short torso. I think that's the reason why she don't do as well in competition because she doesn't have very. She had a longer torso. She has long legs. That's the thing. She has long legs and a short torso. And yeah, she has a great muscle size. She has a great body, great physique. But I think that's what hurts her because her legs are long and her torso is short, and she has that kind of weird shape to her abdominals. But she has a great body. She has a great physique. So anyway, as I know, this is a great list. And like I said, this is not, this is just my list, my preference. So, and these are great women who are of the future of the sport, women of the past, who represent what the sport should be. You know, and you have these women that are who are coming in, and I got a picture of Shanique Grant, and she's just recently said she retired. I got here that's Denise uh, uh what's her name? Denise Willis, no, Danielle Willis, and I think she's supposed to be coming up sometime soon in competition. She completes the physique, but I think they probably push her to go to bodybuilding. But we know Shanique Grant, she decided to retire, so she's kind of, even though she's 25 years old, but she says she wants to focus on becoming a mother and want to have kids. But I also want to talk about the women who represent the sport in the future. We have a lot of young women who are coming up who have great physiques, great bodies, who will probably maybe keep the sport growing. And that's what sports needs. Fresh blood. New prospects. Those that can keep the sport from not dying off. As you know, for a long time, there's always been that story how bodybuilding has a nail in the coffin, and well, John, I know people say it's you get robbed, but what it is, from what I've heard from some people, is that they're looking at a new look, and Sarah Vegas is kind of like a classic throwback. And like Jada said that my interview, check out my interview with Jada Beverly. They said that they want to go with like Donald Lynn Bailey. You know, that's the look they want to go with, and that's what Sarah Vegas had that looked like Donald Lee Bailey. You know, that's what they're looking at. Some people say she got robbed, but I think that's one reason why she said she want to retire because she felt like she got robbed. But you shouldn't just quit because hey, you lost this one show. But like I say, if you want to, focus on having kids and getting married, that's cool, that's good. But like I said, she's still young. She's just 25. She can maybe sit up for a while, have her kids, maybe 4 or 5 years down the road, we'll see her come back. I've seen a lot of bodybuilders who set out, 4 or 5 years, deciding, what, that competitive nature takes over. Well, the fact is, figure and bikini, the fact is that's for more, the idea of what they want of softer look. And here's the thing about figure, John, they need to get rid of figure. There's no point to it anymore. Figure is just, if you look at the figure girls, they're no different. They're just maybe a few pounds away from the bikini girls. I mean, from the physique girls. And really, it's just an offset of fitness. You really, truthfully, you just cut out the fitness and the figure, and all those girls just do strictly physique. That's how I see it. Because if you like, I saw that. I saw some of some of the clips from the Olympia, and some of those women in the figure and the fitness division looked so too much more like the figure women, like the return of Oksana, what's her name, Gorsian, Oksana, the chick from Russia. Look at it. I mean, if you look at the girls, all they do is take off the high heels, and many of I say Beverly, like um Jada Beverly, she's from uh a figure competitor who went to physique, and now she's going to bodybuilder. You get several girls who switched from sports, and there's no point to for figure. And that's what it is. I think they're trying to push more the figure girls up the physique, and the girls who were like yeah, the quick change criteria. Like look at look at this look at Ivory Rain, who took fifth at the show. Now Ivy, she looks too big for physique, especially around the shoulders. But the problem is Ivy needs to bring her legs. She has her legs. If her legs came in a little better, she would be a bodybuilder. She's Ivy Rain is a little too big for the division. Like I think they're talking about the ones that probably would have made the top five. We're talking about Anne Moon from France. And she won the Roper show, the same show where her and Barbara Majan took first and second. But Anne took, I think, seventh at the Olympia Physique. And I look at Anne, and Anne is too big for the division. Anne Moon, Valentina Mishina, Ivy Rain, I think Jeannie Feldman, and another chick. She's from Spain with these big shoulder pads. They are going to go to they're going to go to bodybuilding. Now Ivy Rain already got her bye to physique. Um, to the Olympia this year. She's going to compete, and if she and especially look at her record. She plays 13 and 12 in the last two Olympias. and then she gets fifth. You know, she and I posted, I posted a picture. I sent it to Jada how when she when they gave the picture of her off the side, and we gave Barbara Jean her flowers. And Barbara was so happy. Abby had that look on her face, like she's like disappointed. You should be smiling. Yeah, remember you placed your last two shows. You did not even place in the top 10, 13 and 12. You placed fifth, which means you get an automatic buy. You get some money. You should be happy. If the other one placed 13th, the other girl placed fourth because she had the look that the judges wanted. You know, so I think that's why you're gonna see more of the figure girls being pushed up to physique because that's the look they want, and you'll see more of the bigger physique girls getting pushed up to bodybuilding. You know, so I think Ivy Rain, Ann Moon, Valentina Mishina, Katie Lee, and who else do I say? Jeannie Feldman, and the chick named Laura, forgot her name. She's from Spain. Are the next women are going to go after this year or maybe next year? We're going to see them competing in women's bodybuilding. You know. So that's it, everybody. I really appreciate your time. We pitched the like shall place. I mean, there's so much information to get a lot of these ladies. I know I didn't fulfill all you. But like I said, this is what's my criteria. And I know the list didn't look like what it should be. I know some complaints about how someone plays, but hey, like I said again, this is my list. So, and I'm gonna say this again. So we appreciate my man Jared for coming by, John Freeling, and John really man. If you can, John, I think she should be for slightly less muscular under bodybuilders, but they don't want the bodybuilders not to be as big. Yeah, like you're supposed to be pushing um uh Natalia Kosanova, Natalia Amazonica, but they don't. I think they don't want her in anymore because of the fact that she's too big. But that's a debate, John. That's a debate. Hey, next time we have a debate on that, John. John, if you ever get a chance, you know, if you ever follow me, just drop if you ever follow me on Instagram, you know, just drop a email, and maybe we can get you on here and we can debate about the situation if you like. Okay? Yeah, it's good to have somebody else who's a fan of the sport and who likes to talk about it. So anyway, well, like I said, okay. So it's about my dinner time, fellas, and I'm gonna say I wish y'all a happy, great day, and I hope next time we have some fun. We'll figure out next month what we're gonna talk about. For as you know, this is the last Muscle Talk Mondays for February, and I really appreciate it. And I'm glad y'all guys came by and dropped a like and subscribe. So this is your man, all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Field Bodybuilding Talk. Like, don't subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm out.